Hey everybody, super excited to have another book review for you all. Excited about this one because it's a bestseller. It's about a brand that we all know and love, but it's written differently and still has tons of great content. So, without further ado, my next book review is Shoe Dog by Phil Knight. So, if you don't recognize the swoosh, this book is about the creator and co-founder of Nike, obviously one of the most recognizable brands and logos in the world today. And so their story and how they got started is super valuable for all entrepreneurs who are getting started now and really want to know what to expect and what to think of when they think of entrepreneurship and startups and kind of that whole environment, right? So I love this book because Phil opens up the curtains to what entrepreneurship really looks like. A lot of times we all know that, starting an old company or working for a startup is difficult. But I think sometimes we think of the successful ones as being an uptrend and or the ones that fail as being a downtrend. Whereas Phil, he's able to show us and be transparent that it's really moves in all directions. It's really more of a roller coaster. And so you're going to have up and down. You're going to have weeks and months that are going to be great and stellar. And then you're going to have months and years and quarters where you're going to wonder if the vision and if the product is even right at all, right? And so that sort of up and down, that sort of chaos is more naturally what a startup really feels like and what can feel like, especially if you're groundbreaking or if you're working in an industry and the odds are stacked against you. That's really what it can feel like. And so I love the transparency that Phil kind of provides the reader in that sense of opening up the curtains and showing us this is what it was like. Another awesome part of this book, and I think one of the more important parts of the story of Nike that we don't really hear about much, is the importance of the team that Phil had when, in its early stages. And so the book takes place in the early 60s and early 70s. And honestly, there's so many characters throughout the book. You kind of have to go back and forth and kind of realize, oh, this is this person, because there were so many people who were so instrumental in the success of Nike. And so Phil does a great job of teaching us, the reader, how important each person is, how important it is for every person to accept their role and excel at it, and just finding people who you trust, who trust you, and also that believe in the brand. And so that's a perfect segue to another one of the common themes in the book, which is you need to have a belief in the vision and the product long term. And so when you work for a startup and you're wearing many different hats and it's sometimes a small team, you need to sacrifice. You need to put in the time and the energy, right? And so you're not going to do that for a product that you wouldn't buy yourself, or for a product that you don't think is going to succeed long term. And so that belief for your product and your space and your company is necessary. And lastly, I love the book because it really does show us that working at a startup is more than a job, right? And so throughout the book, we're going to see the sacrifice, the energy, the time that Phil and his team put into creating the brand that we know and love today. And so absolutely love how transparent Phil is with telling us the story from his perspective and the literal day by day, fact by fact story of how this all happened. So again, this book is written differently. This book is not going to be a to-do list, and it's not going to have a bullet point of, if you're an entrepreneur, do this. Instead, it's going to tell you the genuine story through Phil's awesome storytelling abilities. And it's really and the reader's gonna learn through the story of Nike. You're gonna pick up on all the things I just mentioned while you read, and so that way it's a page turner while also being extremely valuable. So Shoe Dog, Phil Knight, again, amazing read, and the content is extremely valuable. So definitely recommend. Thanks everybody.